For me, the Steelcase Amia is going to be your prototypical A-tier chair. I think it is phenomenally comfortable, but I don't think it quite has the extras to push it up to that S-tier. But when we look at the seat comfort, the pad is amazing. It sits really comfortable. It doesn't quite have the flexibility that you're going to see on chairs like the Gesture or the Leap. The arms, though, phenomenal. And then the backrest is great. I think that the lumbar system in the Amia on its own is more comfortable than the one in the Leap because it's built in. It's actually more incorporated with the back than the Leap chair, which sounds kind of backwards, being that it's quite a bit less expensive. But I just think that overall it's super, super comfortable, but I'm going to be at an A on this one.
I just love the Amia seat, possibly my favorite of any chair out here. The only downside, it's not even really a downside, is I don't like the backrest quite as much as the Leap. So I'm kind of going to reserve that S tier for different chairs later in the list here. But kind of like Ryan said, I mean, the arms are just amazing. That lumbar feels really nice, how it's incorporated in the backrest. Very unique design, whereas the Leap is more like a piece that you can easily take out. So all around, it's an amazing chair. That's why it's going to still be at an A for me. But man, that seat is S tier.
It's really interesting because Ryan's take on lumbar is so much different than mine, but we both really enjoy this chair. Like, I feel like it has enough lumbar for me to be comfortable. The arms on these are what you would get on the Leap, which is significantly more expensive. The seat pad is by far my most comfortable seat overall of all of the chairs. I know it doesn't have seat tilt limiter, but what I do is I just unlock this back right here, unlock it, and I crank my tension, and then I just kind of free float with the friction in the mechanism to eliminate what the tilt limiter does, basically. Overall, this chair is fantastic. I sit in these all the time, all day long. It's an S-tier chair for me all around. I know that we've got a couple people here that don't see it that way, and so I'm going to have to go A-tier overall, but guys, this thing's awesome.
The BTOD Ameap chair. So this is an Amia chair, but now it has the Leap seat. So for me, you part this out a little bit. You got the Amia backrest, which is an A. For me, the Leap seat is an A. The arms, they're probably actually an S tier. Overall, put that all together, this is going to be an A tier chair for me. I could use a little more height, 6'2". I'm getting a little borderline on that. I think if you're 6'3" or higher, that backrest might be a problem, but this is an amazing chair. So it's going to be an A.
Big change here for me is the fact that now that we have with our chairs, we have the new seat pad and we have the extra padding. It bumps up the seat pad just enough where I get over the hurdle of just the regular Leap chair not having quite enough padding for me. So I'm actually going to take this thing into the S tier. The seat pad, that was the only drawback for me before, but adding that extra little bit of foam is nice. It's got the amazing armrest, four-way arms, the lumbar support that just gives me the right amount of lumbar. I know it doesn't have the, the big, sort of like name recognition coming from the Amia, like it's not the Leap, but it is just a workhorse overall. And I can sit in this thing again for long periods, the entire day, for weeks and months at a time. So
I can't quite push it to S tier, but I'm about as close as you can get. So I'm at an A with the Amia, and when you put the Leap seat on there, I think that it's an upgrade because the Leap seat, while some people don't like it as much because it can feel a little bit thinner due to the contour of it, I think that it's more comfortable. I like the contour of it, and it's definitely more flexible. You can't even argue that. And so I think that by putting the Leap seat on the Amia chair, you are actually upgrading the chair. And so I'm going to bring it from an A up to an A+. I'm going to be at an A+ overall.
So Steelcase Leap chair, I kind of alluded to this when I talked about the Ameap chair, which was the Amia frame with the Leap seat. I upgraded that chair, and the reason for it is because now that the refurbs have that extra padding in there, of course this goes away from the brand new one. If you add that extra padding, you don't feel like you bottom out quite as much. I know it's just subjective, and it's my opinion, not everybody's, but that paired with the fact that obviously this is without question the best backrest in the business. Super flexible. You've got the ability to really do that Russian twist that Ryan likes to do. It's got insanely good lower support. You can adjust and fine tune where it hits your back. You can adjust the depth on the knob here as well. The seat pad is incredibly flexible as well. Because I move around in my chair all the time, this has always been just a really great all-around chair. Adding that extra thickness to the seat pad did it for me, and now we've gotten this thing over. So I'm S tier on this one for the first time ever.
Yeah, I'm actually going to bump it up even further than S. We're going S+ on this one, which is the highest rank that I'm willing to give to a chair. For me, this is my unicorn of office chairs, and this chair is why I downgraded the Fern and the Embody to A+, simply because they don't stack up to what this chair offers for me. If I could sit in one chair for the rest of my life, it would be the Leap without question. It's got an S-tier seat, S-tier arms, S-tier backrest, and while I've complained about the recline in the past, I've actually grown to love the recline on the Leap. One thing that I've noticed about chairs like the Aeron and the Embody body is that they have such a smooth recline that I just don't get as much stuff done because I'm just moving around in the chair more, whereas the Leap still gives me the same ability to kick back and lounge if I want to. I just don't have that rocking feeling. A lot of people say, how can you give the Leap an S tier if it doesn't have a headrest? I just don't need a headrest. And honestly, I think that if you put a headrest on the Leap, it would take away from what makes the backrest so great. So this is S plus all day.
Yeah, Ryan said it really well. I think I do personally prefer those reclines on the Herman Miller, but it's true. You do kind of have to lock them up. Otherwise, you do have that tendency to always recline. I'm not quite up there with an S for this one, just because I do prefer that Amia seat, but it's still overall, this is an amazing chair, and I do really like that higher backrest. All total, we got an S plus, S, A, it's going to be an S. If you want to see how we rank all of the most popular chairs, head over to BTODtv to see our full office chair tier list. Click the link in the description.